So,
Mr. Hartnett,
yes.
my name is Officer Mike, and this is my colleague, Officer Chris Locke.
Hello.
Hello.
We'd just like to ask you a few questions. We'd like you to put your hands in the air.
Okay.
And can you cough for us? Okay.
That's how Sweet Leaf begins.
All right now.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. Do you think that's because he inhaled marijuana, or due to a tickle in his throat or something?
Sweet Leaf is about a eucalyptus leaf that helps your
Sore
sore throat.
Without warning, a wizard rolls by. Because he said he can't walk these days.
That's crazy. I bet you he's gonna die right after that
He's
ultimate
gonna die
concert.
on stage at that farewell concert.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
James Hartnett.
Yes.
Enough beating around the bush. Enough delaying the inevitable. The governor has turned down your appeal.
No.
Now you have to tell us who the subject of this week's Evil Man the podcast is.
Well, I'm going to throw a little curveball at you, Mike,
Okay.
and tell you that I was sick this weekend and busy, and I was looking for a topic to do, and I was texting with Chris just randomly about it.
Hello.
And because I checked in with Chris, I was like, do you want to do the thing this weekend, or I can? And you were like, if you're up for it, great. And then we started talking about topics, and Chris came up with a topic for this week, and I did it. But I wanted Chris to announce what it is.
Do you want me to read the actual text?
Sure.
Whoa.
Well, no.
Behind
But
the
I
scenes.
said, I don't know, just do the Venus flytrap or something. And James said, that's actually a great idea.
The famous plant, the meat-eating
The
plant?
famous
Doesn't it sound evil?
Yeah, not the character from WKRP in Cincinnati.
No, not the character.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
think he was pretty chill.
He was
was
cool.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
he was
were all
cool.
pretty chill.
Yes.
It was a great place
Howard
to work.
Hessman,
Except for Les Nessman.
Les
the uptight
Nessman was a nerd.
newsreader. Yeah.
Herb was a bit of a scoundrel, but he
Yeah.
was nice.
Yeah, I bet you he had designs on Lonnie Anderson.
Oh,
Jennifer.
Yeah.
It was Jennifer. Oh, she was the.
Bonnie Anderson.
Bailey's the
Oh,
good one
Bailey.
that we love.
Bailey was pretty.
You know how Bailey do.
Then you had Andy
He was the sort of general manager.
and
But
Mr.
it looked
Carl
like his name should be Dusty,
Dusty.
doesn't it?
Yes, and then Mr. Carlson.
Wow.
You know,
yeah.
don't ask me why, but like 2 days ago, I was thinking about an episode where a Christian group put pressure on WKRP to stop playing songs they viewed as anti-Christian.
Yes.
And if they didn't stop playing the songs, sponsors were forced to cancel on them because this Christian group put pressure on the sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
But they drew the line at the John Lennon song Imagine. The Christian guy says to the WKRP guy, you can't play Imagine because he says there might be no heaven.
yes.
And the owner of the station goes, no, you're missing something. He says, Imagine there's no heaven. And he drew the line, and it was not good for WKRP's business, but they had principles.
Mr.
of
Carlson
freedom.
Yeah.
is a courageous man.
He is. It was, kind of a, I don't know, kind of a
Yeah.
bold,
Poignant.
bold stance for a 1970s sitcom. Well, anyway.
I thought it was like, I thought they were gonna have an issue with it because imagining means that you're not allowing it to just be God's process, like God's creation. Like you should imagine more than what God has already given you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi.
Imagine this.
I said Venus flytrap, and he said great idea.
Imagine.
You like
This is
it?
exciting. This is the first time it's been a non-human but living organism that's been the subject of an episode.
Possibly.
Yeah.
First plant, for sure.
Yes.
Imagine there's no podcasts.
Oh God.
It's easy if you try. No WTF, guys we fucked, or Barstool.
Nightmare.
The Venus flytrap. Now, I'll start this off saying I got my info from a very informative YouTube channel called Venus Flytrap World.
Whoa.
Dedicated solely to videos about the Venus flytrap plant.
And it's hosted by this nice seeming academic
Hmm.
woman. And the top comment on the video I watched was, quote, "Your voice and accent is very calming and pleasant. It makes learning about Venus flytraps even more fun."
What would you say if you had to pinpoint her accent? Where would you say
Oh, it
she's
was
from?
sort of German or like Eastern European, just sort of this vague thing like that
Oh.
kind of thing.
Are there a lot of Venus flytraps in Germany?
Not a single one in the wild. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even know where they're from. I have
Well,
no
you're
idea.
going to find out.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is Science Talk with Jay.
Yes.
Forget Bill Nye, the science guy. Now it's James H., the science guy.
James H., the science
Ape.
ape.
Science ape.
James
And
H., the
scientists lo-
science ape.
Scientists love calling us apes.
We are.
We freaking are. Imagine all the apes. Oh, 1991 remix.
Yes.
I didn't know you could
Happy
beatbox.
Mondays.
I can beatbox to a number of John Lennon songs.
Jealous guy?
This guy, I didn't mean to hurt you. Do a jungle beat too. I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was fading. Motherfucker!
I'm just a jealous bitch.
Well, him jealous bitch, and Nick.
Wine, you jealous bitch. Can we?
Sure.
So, Dr. Evil here. The Venus flytrap's name
Hello.
comes from the Roman goddess of love, Venus, duh. And the
Ooh, baby.
Latin word muscipula, which means mousetrap.
You know who Venus was in ancient Greek mythology?
Who?
Aphrodite.
Right, Aphrodite.
Yeah. There you go.
Hmm.
I'll go back to bed now.
Okay, and I have a theory that is not, I don't know, but I have a
Dude.
theory as to why they're invoking the goddess of love in this plant.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Seduction?
Sort of,
Okay.
but I have a slightly different theory.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's just describe the Venus flytrap right off the hop. They grow about 5 inches in diameter, and each plant usually has about 6 stems with hinged leaves.
And they say, "Feed me, Seymour."
Yeah, we could have just done Audrey too.
Audrey too.
Could have done that. These leaves open and close to trap insects. I'm hungry. Obviously, the Venus flytrap are green on the outside, and the inside. Have you ever seen the inside of a Venus flytrap sort of mouth?
Is it like Kermit's mouth, where it's sort of pink and has a black tongue inside, or the opposite?
Well, it's actually kind of a deep burgundy color. And I'm going to say this.
It's not like Kermit's mouth.
It's like wine.
I'm going to say this. This is just my own point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I think the imagery that the Venus flytrap evokes is somewhat vaginal. And that's my theory as to maybe why it's the Venus.
Colleen Georgia O'Keefe.
Yeah, she was always painting those Venus flytrap paintings.
Dude, Google Venus
and then throwing
flytrap.
flies at her own paintings.
I think
Look at one, man.
I know it. I mean, I know it. Both
Look at this Venus flytrap, man. What the fuck do you think that looks like?
Have you discussed this with Ebony?
No, this is not a personal observation. Just an observation.
Does the Venus flytrap have a clitoris on the top?
Yes, and if you lick it, yeah.
You gotta lick it before you stick your fly in it.
Venus.
Anyway, that was just my own
Penis
little
flytrap.
Yes.
If James sees one,
thought. Absolutely.
penis out the fly trap.
So you.
That's brilliant.
That is good. That is
So
good.
your theory is they
Penis
called
out the
it.
fly trap. Come on.
Well, because it.
Send us your messages.
I mean, Chris is probably right that I guess it's seductive, but I'm just saying
it
it's.
seduces flies
but
into its vagina. I think we're both right.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Flies
Well,
love
'cause
giant
a lot
vaginas.
of flowers.
And there's that tongue in the vagina that goes in, "Huh," and then sticks out
yes, yes.
Wait, you're thinking of a frog.
to.
Well, you might be
that
thinking
also
of a
reminds me of a vagina.
piranha
A
plant.
frog's mouth reminds me of a vagina.
All of nature does.
Well, kind of.
Horses,
Anyway.
dogs, buildings.
If you look at nature, everything is a penis or a vagina, and you can justify it any which one.
Right.
Name
Trees.
something: trees, dicks,
Mm-hmm.
leaves, pubes,
Ocean.
ocean, jizz or lubrication,
Okay.
saliva.
Yeah.
Chocolate bar.
Chocolate bar is a
A dick that says shit on it.
a scientist, a professor being like, if you look at anything in nature, it represents the human sexuality or sexual organs. Like, for example, a chocolate bar is a dick with shit on it.
So
All these students taking notes.
James the Science Ape.
I love it. You have to start an offshoot podcast or at least
I
a
like
10-minute
it.
YouTube show called James the Science Ape.
I love it. So here's an interesting thought here. Where do you think you might find the Venus flytrap in the world, in the wild?
The Amazon jungle.
I was going to say near where George of the Jungle lives.
You know, I was really surprised by this. You're both incorrect. They are native only to North and South Carolina. They basically only occur naturally in a
What?
75-mile radius in
Wait,
North and South Carolina.
They are native to North America, specifically North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
How do they know where Carolina ends?
I don't know, but they're like not
Carolina.
allowed out of the state.
Yeah.
Country home, take me home.
Whatever country home. I fucking
No,
fuck that
that's
up.
a good
You get it.
idea for a video,
But
though.
they have pride of like the state
Yeah.
they're from.
You imagine their mouths singing Country Road.
Vagina mouth.
it's like the Chipmunks, but they're singing Country Road.
Country road, take me home to either North or South Carolina.
Anyway,
So they're Southern boys.
They
Southern
are.
girls, the way you say it.
sorry, well, yeah. You know, this
Venus
is
flytraps are Southern girls. You know that?
they were discovered by Europeans in 1759 by North Carolina colonial governor
When they
Arthur
showed up and go,
Dobbs.
hey, where'd all our flies go?
Something's happening to our flies.
We need to find our flies. All our flies are missing from Europe.
The king's gonna be mad.
We lost all the king's flies.
The king has billions of flies. They're all the king's prize collection of flies. His army. But yeah, this North Carolina governor wrote a letter to an English botanist basically being like, there's plants here that eat flies. What the hell?
They've gone mad, unfortunately. The settlers have gone mad. There's a plant here that's eating my pizza.
So here's how why Venus flytraps evolved to eat flies. So the very small region where they grow has really poor soil quality. It's just shitty soil. And so there's a lack of plants, and the plants that grow in that soil really struggle to get enough nutrients from the soil. So you have these plants growing in this region. They're having trouble getting nutrients from the ground. So they evolve leaves that are able to get nutrients from fucking insects. It's kind of amazing. And when they capture these insects, they absorb the nutrients that they're not getting from the soil.
So do Venus flytraps have a brain?
You know, when you really look at yeah, they have a little brain in the back. But it is kind of nuts, like when you...
So James the Science Ape, please, you get it.
They do.
Are their leaves sticky, sort of like the way a spider's web like entraps a bug?
Great
It
question.
slowly like deteriorates them over time, right?
Exactly. I'll tell you how they trap and capture bugs. So,
Like when you get like a candy and you suck on it, it lasts longer.
yeah.
I feel like that's how Venus flytraps eat flies.
Well, they're
Like a lifesaver.
they're not. I don't believe sticky actually. Although I do have at the end a little rundown of a very brief rundown of the other carnivorous plants, and some are sticky.
Okay.
But they're not sticky, but their burgundy lobes produce a sweet, sweet nectar. Chris is jerking off.
I'll say
Their
their
burgundy.
burgundy lobes
That is
create
a good.
secrete a sweet nectar.
What a delightful thing to say to your lover.
What if you got
Your
someone
burgundy
in bed
lobes
and you
have
took
a
their
sweet
pants?
nectar.
Yes.
Sorry.
I think no. I'm pretty sure Lord Byron wrote that one. I feel like it would be cool to bring a lover home, and you get into bed and you're taking their underwear off, and they have burgundy lobes secreting a sweet nectar,
Yes.
and you're like, "Can I trust this thing?"
I know. And I just want to set the record straight. I don't think that ladies have burgundy lobes, but it's just what the, you know what I mean? It's the color of the fly traps.
Female listeners, please write into Evil Men and tell us what color are your lobes.
Absolutely. Well, men's penises are kind of burgundy sometimes. Like if so, you know what I mean?
When you keep it in a glass of wine overnight.
Yeah, when you leave it sitting in a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon, it can be a little bit burgundy.
Burgundy penis.
Anyway, so
This is the funniest.
yeah. Well, I knew we were recording 2 today, so I thought, kind
Yeah.
of good to have a silly one
Yeah. I
to
agree.
take us home. So, the plant has these burgundy lobes producing a sweet nectar, and a bug flying around, it senses that sweet nectar and thinks that's a flower. I want to go eat that nectar. So they're
Nectar
tricked.
tricks.
Nectar tricks, literally. So the bug lands on the lobe, and it starts trying to eat this delicious nectar. But within the lobe, there are 3 filaments called trigger hairs, basically 3 traps. And if anything comes in contact with that trigger hair twice in a very short period of time, the trap will snap shut. Which is crazy because somehow this plant has evolved to kind of be able to tell time, because like you have to trigger the trap twice in a short amount of time for it to close. Do you know why you have to trigger it twice? This little trap?
Because it probably takes, like, once it closes, it's closed.
Well, it's basically just to ensure that it's not sensing a raindrop or a twig or a dead thing. If it triggers it once, it could be anything. But if it triggers it twice, it's probably a live thing walking around.
I was thinking that around there because it's like, also if it closes, how long does it take to open back up?
This is pretty interesting too, okay?
It's like the roof at the Sky Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes like 30 minutes.
If the Sky Dome senses a fly walking around inside. The roof's closed all the time. Okay.
So when
If the Venus flytrap can feel that there's a fat guy with a J's hat inside eating a hot dog, it closes the roof. Kobe beef. Okay, sorry.
please,
Sorry.
I mean,
I'm getting too
interject
silly.
as much as you like.
No, I'm getting
it's not
too
that much
silly. I
information.
love this real information.
So something triggers this trigger inside the plant twice, right? The plant closes. But this is interesting. It doesn't close completely. It kind of gets semi-closed. And it has these kind of fingers on the edge of the lobe that kind of like come together and make almost like a jail cell. There's still space. It's not closed entirely, but a bigger bug wouldn't be able to get out. And the reason the plant does this is that for the Venus flytrap to turn a bug into food, into energy, it requires a lot of energy from the plant to do this. And if it's a tiny, tiny little bug, it's not worth it.
It's a waste of energy.
So it leaves, basically it's evolved to leave space when it first shuts so that a tiny bug could just fly out because it's not worth the trouble.
That's why my philosophy in life is stay a tiny bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my financial advice.
Stay a bug, escape from the Venus flytrap jail.
And this
Enjoy
is
your
not
life.
a jail
Yeah.
you get a conjugal visit at. That's for sure. You get digested.
Now, I have a good question to ask the science ape.
Mm-hmm.
What does the Venus flytrap need its energy for? To eat. But what else does it do?
Well, I think it's just to live.
What's its purpose?
Well, I don't think anything has a purpose in a way. It's just trying to live and spread its
But
spread
different
its
plants
seeds.
like will feed other creatures. Different plants will, even. Well, I guess it cuts back on some bugs.
I remember in grade 10.
Maybe they planted them all around like crops or something.
I remember in grade 10 science asking Mr. McGowan, like, what's the point of a slug or something? And he was like, we don't look at things like what's the point of them in this grade 10 science teacher's mind. Things just kind of are. They don't
No,
necessarily.
this is good that you're teaching me grade 10 science because
Yeah.
I was not paying attention. So what did Mr. McGowan say?
Yeah, he said that's not really how you look at it. You don't go, what does it do? Like, well, a slug must do something. Like, what's the point? He said that's not really how it works. Shout out Mr. McGowan. So
But he
anyway,
didn't give
that
you-
it made me think of that
okay.
when you said sort of, well, what does the Venus flytrap do? What's its
I guess
purpose?
they, like all plants, it would produce oxygen and
Yeah.
clean
And I
carbon.
think all living
but-
things are basically
Yeah.
have this. They're there to spread their, to make more of them.
it's part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or for Elon Musk, you have a lot of kids.
Yeah,
So then I wonder why it's more complicated than other plants.
not very efficient.
I don't know that it's more complicated. I think the act of like turning a bug into food, like it takes 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like, I
Wow.
think it's just very energy consuming for the plant.
It's incredible that a plant in bad soil would be able to evolve to do this weird thing instead of just going extinct.
I know. It is. It is actually
I'm
very
surprised.
neat
Yeah.
and insane. And it really like puts the whole sort of plant evolution thing in. It's really, like you were saying, does it have a brain? Like it's weirdly is. There's some kind of non-brain intelligence in their genetics or
We're at a
something.
point
It's
with,
very
like,
odd.
science where, it's kind of old hat to bring this up now, but the network of fungi and tree roots that communicate together, even with different species of trees and fungi, how they all work together like their own sub-earth like ecosystem that communicates and warns each other, protects each other. You're like, okay, if it's not a brain, then what the
It's
fuck do
pretty
you call
interesting.
this?
It's really
Like
interesting.
these electric impulses that understand.
It's really interesting. I can see why, like, botanists and stuff. It feels like there are always people with their minds blown about plants, but it kind of makes sense. So remember how I said the mouth of the Venus flytrap? It's open a little bit to let little bugs out. If a bigger bug's stuck in there and it's, horrible prison cell, it tries to get out. It can't. And eventually it just starts moving around a lot because it's like, oh my God, what the hell's happening? And this further stimuli shows the plant, hey, this is a living bug. It's big enough. It's moving around. And then the plant firmly shuts.
Whoa.
Yeah. So now it's fully closed, and this seals in the bug and keeps out bacteria.
You know what, man? If I was a bug that got caught in that trap, I would probably die from a heart attack first.
I really wonder how many bugs had heart attacks before dying from the enzymes, because it would be horrible. It would be horrible.
Can bugs have heart attacks
Well, if they've been vaccinated.
if they only eat chips?
Yeah.
They're not vaccinated.
Yeah. No, if they were.
Oh, right.
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
Yeah. No, they. Yeah.
That'd be so scary, though. You're a big bug, and suddenly it's pitch black, and you're inside of a plant,
and what a way
like
to
your
go.
heart is racing,
And you say you don't say you're
Your
like,
cell phone's dead. You
I was
can't
like-
call for help.
you're like, will I ever eat poo again? Will I ever-
say you're a little stink bug and you're
He's the fly's like life is flashing before his eyes. There's all these memories of eating poo and wonderful
hot ladybugs eating poo.
eating poo with a hot ladybug.
Yeah, on date night.
two bugs trapped in a Venus flytrap talking to each other like, man, if I ever get out of here, I'm gonna have a feast of poo.
I'm gonna enjoy every piece of poo I eat.
I'm gonna eat so much shit you won't even believe it.
Well, yeah. So the bug is stuck in this hellish cell, and basically the plant releases enzymes that slowly break down the soft tissue of the bug. And like I said, this takes 2 to 3 weeks.
So how long is the bug alive before it just is like?
I don't know, but
melted or dead.
I mean, I could see it being pretty slow.
Doesn't sound
Do
pleasant.
they die in the winter? I mean, the Venus flytraps.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Like,
I
how long do
totally
they live?
understand that with plants. I don't know. Anyway, apparently also, and this could put it on the evil scale, Venus flytraps apparently, according to the YouTuber I watched, don't actually really need to catch bugs. They probably could get enough energy just from photosynthesis, and this is just supplemental, which I don't really get totally because it feels like this should come from a need, this
Mhm.
evolution, but I don't know.
That's what I'm
It's for
saying.
sport. It's
Yeah.
just
So
cruelty.
this might have put them up on the evilometer a little bit.
The most dangerous game.
Who designed these things? Gargamel? Cobra Commander? I mean, I'm being serious.
Skeletor?
Any other 80s references?
So,
Megatron? Megatron designed Venus flytraps.
is Megatron a transformer?
Yeah.
The big gun. He was
Right, I
the
think
head
It's
of it.
hilarious that he transforms into a gun and falls on the floor. Okay, is anyone want to pick up our fearless leader, Megatron?
So Optimus Prime was a truck and he was good, and Megatron was bad and he was a gun?
Yes, as big as a
It's
truck.
a pretty dumb idea.
Did someone else?
But
have-
also, kids were buying a thing that's like transforms into a gun, and then they're like, awesome.
And they're aliens, right?
I guess.
Robot
yeah,
aliens?
from Cybertron or something.
Did they? Did one of the Decepticons have to hold him to fire him for real?
That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, I think maybe Starscream would
Starscream.
put him in a holster.
Maybe just when he was craving like affection, he'd be like, "I'm turning into a gun," and just to have one of his friends
Yeah.
hold him. For once.
me. But the handle was his butt
Oh, butthole.
and the trigger.
The trigger was up his.
It was his
butthole.
throat.
It was his prostate.
Trigger was his throat, and you had to pull the trigger with your dick.
Only a penis can make my gun fire.
Wait, that was Cobra Commander. What was Megatron's voice? Starscream
That
was the
was
same
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Cobra Commander.
Yes. Yeah.
What was Megatron's voice?
Hey everybody, it's me, Megatron.
Hey everybody, it's me, Megatron. I just invented a Venus flytrap. Oops, I'm turning into a gun again. Someone put me in a dresser drawer.
Wrap me in cloth so the police don't find me.
Put me in a shoebox up in the closet. The most evil. The most evil Transformer has to be in a shoebox on the top shelf of a closet.
Don't bring me to the airport.
Where's Megatron? I think he's in Jimbo's Winnebago in a shoebox.
Oh man.
you have a license for that, Megatron?
Oh no.
Oh shit.
We have to do a background check before you can have Megatron
Yeah.
in some states.
Well,
Oh my God.
I actually have some kind of sad, serious news,
Oh my
Oh, I'm
God.
so sorry.
and we might want to. We might honestly want to start like wearing pins for this or do something. But
We should do something.
apparently,
I think we should.
the Venus flytrap has suffered a significant decline in population in the wild, and the population in its native range is estimated to have decreased by 93%.
I blame North and South Carolina. And
93%.
Yeah, they're doing really bad.
This insane dumb plan.
it's
like,
too
oh,
much energy to suck a beetle. I'm out.
I've been chewing on this bee for 3 months now. I'm exhausted.
It's kind of a dumb plan.
Please
I
get
guess.
me out of South Carolina.
But
So what-
apparently, the environment is a big part of its decline, like just losing its natural habitat.
is it because
which is
things are-
bad land?
Apparently, they don't survive when they're inundated underneath Taco Bell wrappers. And big gulp litter.
It is kind of wild imagining like a South Carolina guy walking around and hey, there's a Venus flytrap.
Oh my God! I wonder if they're being killed by the Carolina Reapers.
Oh,
crops.
If you put a Carolina Reaper in a Venus flytrap, I don't think the flytrap can handle it.
It's like putting a Mento in a bottle of Coke.
It's like 1 million Scovilles. You think a Venus
I know.
flytrap could handle 1 million Scovilles? Maybe 10,000.
I would
we need
be-
to see.
I'd be nervous if I was like a guy in South Carolina walking around with no shoes on.
Oh.
They're thinking, like, my toe. And then you're like, oh, my toe. You're sucking on my toe. It's a Venus flytrap for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Oh
Like,
my
Yeah.
God!
if you
my
don't
toes
move for 3
going.
weeks,
Yeah.
you're in deep shit.
And you
Yeah.
die of starvation, and then it eats your toe.
Okay, we need to find the last Venus flytrap and try this Carolina Reaper experiment.
Once I actually as a kid, I was at the mall with my mom, and I guess we saw a little Venus flytrap in a pot for sale, and my mom bought it for me, and I had a Venus flytrap at home.
Oh.
You know how like years ago people
I didn't see it eat any bugs. I never
You had
saw it
one?
close. Yeah,
Oh my
so it was kind of a
God.
disappointment.
Where did she get it from?
Like the mall. You can. I think you
Crazy.
possibly could just buy one and have
that
it
was
in your
before the
house.
tariffs.
Yeah,
It was so
for the
easy.
plant world tariffs.
Well, I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? What were we talking about? Okay, you know those like videos where people like eat a full on like ghost pepper or Carolina
Mm.
Reaper or something,
Mm.
and they're like, "Watch this, ha ha ha," and they're so cocky, but then all of a sudden, all tears, all snot
Mm.
shoot out of their face. They're crying, they're gagging, they can't breathe, they're beet red. Those videos are more horrifying for me to watch than like a terrorist chopping a person's head off.
I know. I don't need to see it.
I'm like, get that away from me. It's inhuman. It doesn't make sense.
I watched some mini documentary about people with an insane spice tolerance, and there's this competition or sort of thing once a year, and these people go and they're eating these things that would just destroy other people, and they aren't affected by it. How are you guys with spice?
They're like Jim Rose sideshow circus people.
I'm okay with spice, but not to that degree.
no.
I once saw a guy in
Me too.
Oshawa called the Torture King who had been part of the Jim Rose Circus sideshow, and he like nailed a big spike into his nose. He ate some light bulbs, and then he smashed a bunch of bottles and just like wiggled around.
Oh
and
God.
and did a few other things because it was like a full hour-long show. But
And now anybody
You
does
were a
that on
teen and
their-
just like, this is awesome.
yeah, I bought a T-shirt and wore,
No
it, wore it to
way.
school.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
You still have the T-shirt?
No.
I saw that some of the T-shirts that we would have worn in like the early '90s, they're worth like thousands of dollars now. It's crazy.
Also, like, I had a Nintendo and Super Nintendo and all these old games, and like, that's like, you know, if I
We
kept
never
it,
thought.
tons of money.
I know.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
You know how much Gyromite is worth now?
I could put my kids through college with Gyromite.
No one wants Gyromite.
Is the population of Venus flytraps have they been decimated by climate change, or is it land development?
It said both of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike is so smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm just gonna say
Just asking a question.
no competition, but James is the best at doing evil men.
Yes. Yes. James, you, Chris, then me. I have to
Oh,
Yeah.
But also
I guess
you-
It's true.
say James, then me.
I'm like a Rocky Road ice cream,
I'm mint chocolate chip, I think.
and James is like
I'm
French vanilla.
Vanilla darling. If you remember, it was an ad for whatever, a protein shake. and then-
Vanilla.
oh, forget it.
So
Yeah. Anyway, and I'll just
R.I.P..
say one little thing: the species is being considered to be under the Endangered Species Act. Like they might be soon an endangered species. The Venus
that makes
flytrap.
me so mad.
There's one little bit of good news though.
I just pictured a panda bear putting its arm around a Venus flytrap and going, "Welcome to the club.
Hey, dude.
You're gonna like it here. They treat you great."
Yeah.
That's a bald eagle. Don't worry about him. He's got a bit of an attitude, but he's a nice guy.
Little bit of good news though for the Venus flytrap community. In 2005, the Venus flytrap was designated as the state carnivorous plant for North Carolina.
Wow.
So that is such an
Oh.
honor.
Beating
Yeah.
out so much
all the other
competition.
ones, yeah.
The Carolina Reaper.
Now, I think this is kind of interesting. I just have a really quick rundown of a very brief description of the other kinds of carnivorous plants.
All right.
Mhm, yeah.
The first one is pretty nuts too. Have you heard of pitcher plants?
Picture plants?
Like Pitcher.
Pitcher plants. Like a baseball pitcher.
Or a pitcher of water.
pitcher water?
Oh.
And I think they're called pitcher plants because they look like big long pitchers.
Oh, I thought they trapped
Pitchers of
bugs
water.
by putting a pitcher of water on top of a door, and when the bug opens the door, the water drenches them, and then the plant moves in.
Well, the pitcher plant is kind of like a pitfall trap. And these plants are kind of like these big long tubes. The leaves are like tubular, really long.
Are they totally tubular?
They are totally tubular. And if you look it up, it's crazy. It's like this big long flagon, you know what I mean, of wine.
Yes.
And the rim of this big long tube is slippery due to nectar. So
Tell me
prey
about it. Everything gets slippery with nectar on this.
so prey, little bugs will go to the top of the plant and try to get some nectar, and then they slip. It's like a banana peel situation. They fall into the pool of digestive fluid, and
Like a water park.
they get digested. Now get this. Pitcher plants can be of varying sizes. Some pitcher plants can be 45 feet tall.
No.
God, even pitcher plants are doing better than me.
It's not
And
fair.
the really big ones are in Southeast Asia, Madagascar, and Australia. But there are some pitcher plants in the U.S.
I swear, Madagascar sounds like the most fun place to go.
Yeah, it would be neat.
Do you think there's people with what was it called that they got sent there like 100 years ago to Madagascar?
Leprosy?
Lepers?
Oh,
You think lepers are? There's a colony still there?
man.
Maybe.
It's not
Isn't
in
it-
Madagascar the movie.
Isn't that what? Yeah.
I'm showing
Oh,
pictures
wow.
of pitcher plants, and you know what?
They're
they look like
beautiful.
fucking ball sacks. They do.
Oh my God! Yes.
Kind of neat, eh?
Wow.
Yeah.
And so they land on there and they slip in, and then they get digested down there.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Mother Nature is a full-blown pervert with the way
Yeah.
these plants look and these animals and
Yeah.
my God.
Well, I'll tell you about another carnivorous plant.
Okay.
Excuse me. It's called a sundew. And think of these ones like a fly paper trap. So they have leaves covered in a sticky, glistening mucilage resembling dew. And when a bug lands on a leaf, it gets stuck, and the plant slowly curls its leaf or tentacles around the victim
Oh,
to digest it with enzymes. And they're mostly in Australia and South Africa.
Sundew.
Got you. Got you,
Oh, yeah,
mate.
mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Can you do a sundew accent?
And I'm looking up
Looks
a
like
sundew
your legs
plant.
are sticky.
There's a sundew plant, and there's one of them
Damn.
digesting that poor bug.
I feel bad for bugs.
Oh, those look cool and scary.
Shout
and
out
weird.
to bugs.
Shout out to bugs. Here, I'll go back.
Sundew.
Sundew.
Shout out to
Kind of looks
bugs.
like a.
Is that your girl there?
No, that's a different YouTuber. who talks about carnivorous plants.
This is great.
Just
It's cool.
a
It's
couple.
like we've just stumbled into a new scene
It
to be
is-
a part of.
I actually, yeah, it is kind of funny. And I was looking up stuff, and there's a subreddit, a carnivorous plant subreddit, and a guy was
For
like,
sure.
"Are my pitcher plants too bunched together?"
Oh, they're growing them?
yeah, like I guess you could have it in a pot.
Weird.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just a couple others. There's a plant called, and I love this name, a butterwork. It's called a
Right.
butterwork,
Butterwork.
and that's another fly paper trap plant, similar to sundews.
Does it lure them with butter and then work on them?
It does.
Is it butterscotch flavored? So it's old bugs that land on
It's yeah, exactly. There's another carnivorous plant
Old
called.
jazz plays near them.
Now this name is way worse. Bladderworks.
What in the
There's
hell?
a plant called a bladderwork,
Now
and
what's
that
this plant
That's
doing?
a terrible water park that I went to one time.
well, a bladderwork is underwater, and it sucks bugs into its belly.
Bladderwork.
And bugs say it sucks, and then they just leave it at that.
Yeah, they use a vacuum mechanism, and when a little, small little aquatic organism goes near it, the trap sucks in the water, and the bug goes in with the water.
That's complicated.
Yeah. And there's one more here, a corkscrew plant, which is like a lobster pot trap, and they have these underground tubular traps that resemble corkscrews, and they capture like little microscopic prey like protozoa.
Huh.
But anyway, all of these plants grew in low nutrient soil, and all because of that evolved the ability to eat bugs.
I love this
Wow.
craziness.
Yeah. Phew. I thought we wouldn't even have enough information to do a full-length episode, and here we are.
What is it?
Hour 10.
Wow.
Pretty
You know what we should
good.
do? We should go on a podcast trip to North and South Carolina
Mm-hmm.
and go spend some time with some Venus flytraps, take some pictures,
Mm-hmm.
make some videos, sing some songs, have some meals, and just hang out with the darn things before they disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
I bet you the food in North and South Carolina is incredible.
We go to South Carolina, check out some Venus flytraps. We
Mhm.
carry on to Florida,
Yeah.
check out the skunk ape.
Yes.
North Carolina has Myrtle Beach, right?
Oh,
Or am I
think
wrong
so.
about
South
that?
Carolina, maybe, but either way, we've been to Turkey Point, Ontario, but we've never been to Myrtle Beach. You know, it'd be fun to go to a proper beach.
People usually do one and then the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some bad news about skunk ape.
Oh, what is it?
So you know how Andrew Tate and his brother were recently freed from house arrest in Romania and they were flown to Florida?
Yeah.
Skunk Ape tweeted, "This is a great day for freedom," and he was caught on camera meeting the Tate brothers and shaking their hands at the airport. He's a bad guy.
That sucks. I really wanted to like him.
Yeah, he's a.
Honestly, Andrew Tate kind of looks like the skunk ape.
He looks like he might have an odor sort of similar to the skunk ape.
Yes, no question.
Sorry to say.
Well, anyways, gentlemen, that is the story of the Venus flytrap.
Thank you. I feel so scared hearing that.
I'm
story.
really sorry to scare you.
If I come back in my next life as a bug, I will be nervous all the time.
Don't even go to Carolina if you're a bug in your
Myrtle
next
Beach is South Carolina. I was wrong. You were right.
Well, even if you want to go to Myrtle Beach as a bug, don't
Yeah.
go. Trust me.
Yeah.
Not worth it. Not worth it. I've given you sunshine. I've given you rain. You've given me nothing but heartache and pain. Seymour sings that to Audrey too in Little Shop of Horrors.
Wow, Mike, that
That
was
was good.
incredible. You've got
Yeah.
such a great voice.
And then he eats Audrey.
Nobody who listens to this knows this, but Mike loves singing.
I like to sing.
Are you looking at people in the window across the alley from me?
I feel like they change freely.
I know. They
you see a butt?
two new guys moved in, and they're kind of, I think, like kind of buff university students.
Oh.
They're probably getting off on us seeing them.
Oh, is that why you have the binoculars set up here?
No, no.
Oh my God! A
James-
Venus flytrap just knocked on the door and entered their apartment.
Oh no, they're all having sex.
James, thank you for telling us that story about Venus flytrap.
That was awesome.
Well, maybe it's time to be paid a visit from the
Evilometer.
Oh God, it's the evilometer, and he resembles, I'm gonna say it, a woman's vagina, and there are bugs floating around his head, and he's trying to eat them with his his lobes have a sweet nectar on them, and he has a southern accent, and he's
All
playing
right.
John Denver's "Take Me Home, Country Road."
I never
and
thought that the Venus flytrap would talk like that.
oh, here comes a bug. I'm just going to put it in bug jail. Then I'm going to devour it for 3 weeks. Yes, I am.
I like eating bugs.
Does that mean Venus flytrap voted MAGA?
Ooh, I mean, there's definitely a chance.
How close is West Virginia to North and South Carolina? It's pretty close, right?
It seems like it's in the same ballpark.
Yeah, 'cause they're south of Washington, D.C., right? And I feel like Virginia is beside Washington,
Yes,
D.C.
it's like even
Beneath?
right next to it.
Yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
All right, let's go to
Deo, Deo.
Deo.
Bug
Damn.
flies by and I want to suck the guy.
Suck, want to suck, want to suck, want to suck. Bug flies by and I want to suck the guy.
Loading bugs on my ship in the dark.
Bug flies by and I want to suck the guy.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bag of bugs.
Work all night, sucking a bug.
Yeah, that's the Venus flytraps all singing together.
Suck a bug and we have a nice time.
Like moonlight, southern heat evening, crickets chirping, a few Venus flytraps singing in the night.
Oh,
Can I go
man.
first? I'm going to go first.
Sure.
Venus flytrap. Oh, what a strange evolutionary plant to exist. Doesn't seem very efficient.
No.
If it has to be like, you're not even worth me eating you, bug, because you're not big enough. Insulting. Very sinister, but very vulnerable as well to land development. I'm going to give the Venus flytrap that I'm going to say has no brain and is probably not responsible for what it does.
That's your opinion.
Essentially torturing bugs for 3 weeks before they die. This is Jeffrey Dahmer type stuff here.
Yes.
Lord knows what the Venus flytraps keep in their fridges.
Yeah.
If you know a Jeffrey Dahmer story, you'll know what I mean. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give the Venus flytrap a 1.1 on the evilometer.
Yep, good score. Yeah, I'll go next. I'll give it a 0.2. Just for the fact that maybe plants have some kind of intelligence we don't understand. So it's only that little chance that maybe it's torturing these bugs. I mean, the lady on the YouTube video said they don't really even have to do this. So that just seems kind of demented.
Now here's the thing. I'm gonna give it a 1 as well, but you're kind of right. It is a killing machine.
Mm-hmm.
It lives off of murder, but perhaps we all do.
Huh.
Wow.
But it also feels like the type of creature that some Nietzscheans would use to defend the natural, like, you know, a predator's natural whatever fucking thing. That
What, like
they are.
survival of the fittest?
Yeah.
You just turned into both Cheech and Chong.
I'm so tired. I gotta go watch White Lotus. Yeah, you know, like, of course I'm killing you. I am like the Venus flytrap.
It's a Herzog.
It's a justification for evil men.
It is a unnecessarily cruel, like, example of like just the heartlessness and unthinking reality of nature. I'm just
Right.
like, it tortures its victim for 3 weeks.
It
Instead of
doesn't
killing
get
it,
enough
Yeah.
soil,
Like,
so
there's
it
no empathy, no
yeah.
mercy.
doesn't get enough nutrients from the soil, so it adapts to torture and kill
Yeah.
other living things.
Yeah,
It's kind of fucked.
a plant that
It's
eats
fucked.
meat.
Well, I was almost gonna give it a 8, to be honest, because of that.
Mm.
But then you guys psyched
no,
me out.
I like that.
Okay, I'll go 8.
All right.
It's a killing machine.
I'm a killing
Was the plant? I don't know Little Shop of Horrors at all. Was that a Venus flytrap, like a big one?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
the biggest you've ever seen.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if technically the piranha plants in I said that in a British accent for some reason, but I wonder if those things from the Mario world are Venus flytraps, maybe some kind of offshoot.
Italian Venus flytrap.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them too.
If you flew, if you flew near a Venus flytrap wearing a Tanuki suit, would you be in trouble?
Holy
Could
shit.
you be
The guy who
sucked in?
hates video games
I don't
drops
hate video
Tanuki.
games.
Oh, I thought
I
you
just don't
did.
play them. I lost touch with them.
But your Tanuki suit is a good drop.
Tanuki suit.
I know. Yeah, that Tanuki suit, man. Woo.
Man, we should all
Game changer.
use some of our Patreon money, go to a tailor, like a nice bespoke tailor, get some custom-made Tanuki suits for ourselves, and go out clubbing one night. We'll get a limo. We'll go to the Toronto clubs wearing our nice Tanuki suits. Bottle service.
So this is the raccoon one, right?
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool to do?
Tanuki.
Looking up at Tanuki.
Us getting measured.
Yeah.
All of our
Oh.
an old Italian tailor.
Raccoon dog.
I googled Tanuki, and Google says it's a Japanese raccoon dog.
Oh, because right.
So it's not even like a Canadian raccoon.
Yeah.
Eh?
Anyway.
Wow. Well, James, thank you for telling us again about the origin of the word Tanuki.
This was an
and
excellent
the Venus
episode.
flytrap.
Thank you. You know what? It was great. And, last week, a great history lesson about John Wilkes Booth. And today, a silly lesson about a silly plant.
It goes to show you that humans can be evil by nature, but if you go to the natural world of plants and bugs, you can't
Yeah.
escape the evil still.
You're not going to fare much better out there.
Yeah.
The way to, what needs to happen with Venus flytraps? Spread religion to them.
Yes.
If they're capable of evil, then they can have an understanding of morality. And, where are the missionaries?
Tell them about Christ.
Yeah, but think of what the power of gospel could become in the hands of the wrong Venus
I hate that
flytrap.
idea. And they might have their
Mhm.
own idea of Jesus where he's a Venus flytrap.
Oh,
No.
God.
He was a guy.
A Venus flytrap nailed to a cross.
Jesus was a guy from Toronto and he was a teen in the 90s. Everyone knows this.
Yeah, he stopped by. That was another great episode of Evil